Thank you, SDR. How many of you want to make more money? Oh, look at that. How many of you want to be more successful? How many of you would like to have superpowers to create that success? Superpowers. Awesome. You guys are in the right place. My name's Dan, as Simon has introduced me, and today I'm here to talk to you about how your strengths, those Gallup strengths that I'm very confident you've all done now, are your superpowers for success. What you're going to learn today is that you do indeed possess these things that I like to call superpowers, and you're going to begin to learn how to use them. What's so good about that is that from this day forward, if you played 100% with us today for the next 30 minutes, you will be able to approach things with ease, excellence, and joy. Now, that's not a guarantee, and it's not everything with ease, excellence, and joy. But if you pay attention today and you start to use the things we teach you, you'll be able to approach things with ease, excellence, and joy. Not only that, but you'll be able to create more success in your business, your life, and your career. How many of you are like that? Yep. Awesome. Now, I would like to thank Simon for inviting me along today, and also Simone for hosting. But most importantly, I want to thank you guys for being here. Give yourselves a big round of applause, please. Big round of applause. Okay. You're what I like to call the 1%ers, because let's be honest, you could be anywhere right now. Unless Simon dragged you here by the ear, and maybe he did, and maybe it's in the constitution for BNI, for whatever reason you guys are here today. And that I want to congratulate you for, because you are making an effort to build your business, to build yourself, personal development, professional development. You are here, and for that I want to say thank you. So turn to the person next to you, give them a high five and say, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here. Right. Before we get started, is it all right if I tell you just a little bit about myself? Great. So for the last 20 years, I've been working with businesses, teaching them simple marketing and design strategies so that they can grow. More recently, I've been coaching people, professionals, athletes, business owners, executives, teaching them, to be honest, how to get out of their own friggin' head. Because I think some of you will agree the thing that stops us from getting here to here is that little voice that says you can't do it. How many of you would agree? Oh, yeah. So the other thing I teach a lot about is little voice mastery, because it's that friggin' thing that stops us from doing what we want to do. Do you know what I mean? Yep. Right. I have helped universities. I've helped professional healthcare companies. I've worked with and launched new personal training companies to create $180,000 in new revenue. But you know what? It wasn't always that way. About 8 years ago, somebody said something to me that changed my life. I was a one-man design company, and I had just won a really big client, UniSA. So I designed some branding for the University of SA. And as you can imagine, when you go from Dan Design, the backyard design company, to winning a project with South Australia's best, I can't say largest, best university, you get pretty excited, right? I mean, how many of you would be excited to have the UniSA as a client? Yeah, absolutely. So there I was in my shared design space, looking at a piece of work that I'd done, quite smug and happy with myself, flipping through it. And then someone who I considered to be a mentor came over to me, and he looked at my work, and he looked at me, and he looked at the work, and he goes, Dan, how do you get work like this? Now, I don't know what you heard, but what I heard was, dude, you don't deserve that. You're a phony. We know you haven't studied design. You shouldn't be here. Get out and go the other job. Go and do your desktop publishing. Make wine, table talkers, whatever it was that you used to do. You shouldn't be here. Now, did he say any of those things? No. It was my little voice going crazy. Bah, 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 bah. You've been busted, dude. Get out. So I went home that night and I had to make a decision. One, do I do what my little voice said? Do I admit that I'm guilty? And do I throw it in and go back to being an employee, or do I tell them where to go? Which one do you think I took? Yeah, I told them where to go. I made a decision that night that no one is going to make me feel like that again. So I had to get out of that toxic environment. I moved my design studio. I went to Pirie Street in that new building where we have a sauna and a spa and a gym and a deck and a barbecue and all the shit that you don't need, but your ego loves. And I found out pretty quick when my rent went up to $2,000 a month, I need to make more money. Okay? This is where it gets really interesting, because that's when I joined BNI. That's when I started marketing. That's when I rebranded from Dan Design, Tom's Paint Shop, to Creative Grease. That's when the appearance that I was bigger than I was started to happen, right? And that's when things really changed for me. And I can now stand here and proudly say that I've built my own design and marketing agency, doing what I love, which is helping people and solving problems. But you know what? The biggest aha for me didn't come till last year. And I was thinking about a workshop like this, and I had this realization that it wasn't my determination, it wasn't my desire to prove them wrong or to be vengeful. It wasn't that thing that got me through that hard time of having to make more money or get kicked out. Do you want to know what it was that got me through that? How many want to know? It was my Gallup strengths. Okay, now that sounds like a sales pitch. But it was my talents. It was those things that I naturally use every day to do my job. So one of them is strategic. And I know that some of you are going to go, ah, cool, I've got strategic. I want to know what that is. And another one of them was activator. So activator, that's a talent, which is actually code for impatient prick. Okay? Activator means, come on, let's go, let's get started. Stop talking, no more information. I don't want to read anything. I want to get started. How many of you think you behave like that? Yeah. You say, yes, I'll do it before they even tell you what you're going to do. Yeah? You guys know what I'm talking about? Now, I can tell you later, I'll give you a story because that gets me in trouble, all right? And I'll tell you why. Okay, activator, impatient, marriage, think about it. Gets you in trouble. We'll go there, but that's not what you're thinking. I've got 3 other talents in my top 5, and maybe by the end of this 20-odd minutes, you will know what I'm talking about. But for now, I just want you guys to open your cup and to be open and ready to absorb this idea that when you master these talents, they become strengths. And when they become strengths, they become superpowers. You guys okay to do that with me today? Sure. Awesome. Turn to the person next to you and give them a high five and say, I'm ready. I'm ready. All right. Shall we get started? You ready? Okay, who likes to play games? Yeah. And the rest of you don't? Who likes to play games? What if I could show you how to make your whole day at work a game? Wouldn't that be cool?
Isn't that what we do anyway?
Yeah, good. Okay. Don't tell anyone if you don't. Okay, so we're going to play a game called Stand Up If You've Got Talent. And there's only 2 rules. How many rules? 2. And guess what? Nearly everyone frigs up the second one, so listen very carefully. So it goes like this. If you agree with what I put up on the screen, you stand up. That's the easy one. If you disagree what's on the screen and you're already standing, don't sit down. Okay? So once you're up, you're up. Sounds good, doesn't it? Make sense? Once you're up, you're up. You do not sit. You guys ready? Yep. Cool. Shall we start? Yep. Okay. So, number 1. Do you talk to people in elevators, airplanes, grocery stores, bank lines, wherever it is you go? You can't help but start a conversation. Probably heavily weighted towards BNI people because they're busting to say, what do you do for a job? Okay. Do you have friends from primary school that you're still in contact with?
You don't have one.
Oh, look at this, the room's nearly up already. Have you colour-coded or otherwise organised your wardrobe? No, stay up. See, you got it wrong already, Meredith. Stay up. So what that means is maybe you organise your drawers, your knives, your forks, your summer undies, winter undies, lucky undies, dirty undies. You organise stuff like that, right? Some people do. If they're your lucky ones, you don't want to wash them, right? Blah. Okay, how many of you write lists of things to do and stick to it? Yes. Right. So on the right-hand side, that's a polished diamond. You've done some work on your talent. You now know when to stop talking. I now know that I shouldn't put my wife on the spot. I now know that I should start less things because Activator has 50 unfinished projects, but not many finished ones. Okay? The talent that finishes projects is called Achiever. Okay, Achiever has a list, and Achiever can't sleep until it's finished that list. Right? Achievers work bloody hard. In fact, they work too hard. And here's the most dangerous part of Achiever. They're sitting there looking at the world through their rose-coloured glasses going, why doesn't everyone else want to do as many things as me in a day? Come on! You're 2 years old, but you should be able to mop the floor and do the like high expectations from an achiever. You need to be careful. Everyone got that? How many of you have got achiever on your top 5? Look at that. All right. It's great for a chapter, but you need to know when to stop. Okay? Your family needs you. Your health and fitness needs you. You need to stop. Simon didn't hear that. You guys good? Yep. Okay. So the definition from Gallup is that a talent is a recurring pattern of thought, feeling, and behaviour. Everything starts as a thought. I think I'm hungry. Yeah, I feel like going out for lunch. I'm going to make a behavioural action and go eat. Things start as thoughts, okay? So you need to start marketing, say, what are you thinking of doing? But they're not always great quality thoughts, okay? This person's giving me the shit, so I'm going to thump them if they don't shut up. That's activated, running out of patience. You need to intercept it and go, calm down, dude, okay? A strength, on the other hand, this is where you guys want to get to. This is where the ultimate place to be with all of your talents you've discovered. Turn them into strengths. I'll give you a hint. Take a photo if you don't want to write it down. But there's proof that writing gets it into your brain better. But you already know that, right, Meredith? Very good. Okay, high five to you. Consistent, near-perfect performance. You can reconcile the bank balance of your favourite client with your eyes closed every single time to perfection. Not just when you roll the dice. Okay, you can sell the same product you have for 5 years because you know it really well, because you've practiced and practiced and practiced and practiced and practiced. And here's something that I want you guys to write down. Practice does not make perfect. Okay, there's no such thing as perfection, even in SDR's laundry sorting. No such thing as perfection. Practice makes permanent. Okay, the more times you do it, the more permanent it is. The more times I stand up and give this presentation, the less times I need to look at my notes because I've done it before and before and before. Does that make sense? So if you want to perfect something, you're going to turn yourself inside out. But if you want to get permanently good at it with your eyes closed, practice, practice, practice.